Hello, everybody. My name is Obi Nora, former NBA superstar for the Houston Rockets and Hall of Famer, and I would like to welcome you all to my new show, Obi and the Hooligans. Today, we'll be talking about if there truly is a wage gap between men and women based on gender, or is the wage gap just a figment of our imaginations? My hooligans for today, or guests, are Nobel Peace Prize winner Dr. Karina, Marilyn, who is a well-known senator, and lawyer Berenice, who has never lost a case or debate. Maybe we can change that today. I know you all have a busy schedule, but thank you for making the time to come to my show. You ladies have a lot to say on this topic, but I want to start off by asking for everyone's stance on this matter and if there really is an apparent wage gap between men and women.
I would like to start off by saying I think women do get underpaid, and amounts of research proves this is so because according to the Pew Research census, women reported they get paid less than men, and this research and data was collected in 2016, providing the gap continues to exist.
I would have to disagree with you there. If the wage gap was real, why don't women use the Constitution to support their unfair pay? In the Supreme Court case of Reed versus Reed, the 14th Amendment was used to give legal rights to a woman who was unfairly hurt in a bunch of court cases. However, in Krieg versus Barron, a young man fought for the unequal restrictions of alcohol sales based on gender. In this case, males were put at 21 while females were put at 18 to buy alcohol. In both cases, both had unequal restrictions based on gender, but our society has changed for the better since these cases have taken place. Both of these cases use the 14th Amendment because it provides equal protections for all citizens. So are you implying that women don't get treated as citizens?
Well, if you think about it, a lot of people don't go around and discuss their pay wage or their salaries. A lot of times, I feel like that would be an inappropriate, unprofessional, and unethical conversation to have amongst coworkers. I have had coworkers in my professional experience who have refused to talk about their pay wage. Each person made it clear they felt very uncomfortable.
Karina, I think what Marilyn was trying to say is that there really is an issue with the gap that women have been facing. The 14th Amendment does not directly mention anything about wages, so many companies can take advantage of that. Nowhere in the Constitution is unequal pay based on gender formally addressed. In fact, there has been a push to get a new amendment and that specifically fights against unequal pay based on sex. There has been 3 attempts to get this amendment done, with 2 attempts failing and the new revised attempt needing 1 more state to ratify it in order to get it placed into the Constitution. This proves that the issue is an important topic that needs to be dealt with.
Whoa. Calm down, feminazi. I don't know what show you think you're on, but this show is PG. But I'd like to hear what you have to say about that, Marilyn.
Yeah, you make a good point. But the reason that this amendment is being passed isn't solely because it's an urgent problem that needs to be addressed. Many men who don't agree with the wage gap are automatically deemed sexist. Who's to say these officials in Congress aren't forcefully pressured into agreeing with this change? The Equal Pay Act requires that men and women get paid equally for equal work in the same establishment. Wage differs from skill, effort, time, and etc.
According to the Equal Pay for Equal Work, new evidence on the persistence of the gender pay gap hearing, we have made major progress since President Kennedy signed the Equal Pay Act in 1963. But as the saying goes, a woman's work is never done. Women earn 78 cents on the dollar compared to men doing the exact same work. It's even worse for minority women. For African American women, the wage gap is even larger, earning 62 cents for every dollar earned by a man. And for Hispanic women, they earn 53 cents on the dollar compared to men. There has been progress since then. Between 1988 and 2007, the gap shrunk from 28 cents to 11 cents. The gap still remains even after accounting education. Also, the gap isn't only a woman's issue, it's a family's issue, considering that some companies pay performance pay, which makes everyone's pay unequal.
I agree with you there, but that's where the issue stands. And the question rises, why are women getting paid equally when it's the exact same work as men? Women stand to lose over $700,000 due to unequal pay. As a high school graduate, and not only that, doctors and lawyers lose up to $2 million according to the Wage Project.
Okay, can I cut in and just ask Dr. Karina, did you ever think of asking if the experience between men and women were the same? Because according to the GAO reports, some or all of the remaining 0.07 cents of the remaining gap might be explained by factors for which they lack data, or it's difficult to measure, such as work experience, time spent at the job, and like other things like that.
I understand, Obi. The pay gap declined from 28 cents on the dollar in 1988 to 19 cents in 1998 to 11 cents in 2007. All about 7 cents of the gap. AAUW found that just 1 year out of college, women earn only 80% of what their male counterparts earn. So why do we encourage women to get a higher education when they won't even be earning the full 100% like their male counterparts will?
You have a good point there, but let's get to another question of mine. As an athlete, I have to ask, do you ladies believe that the gender wage gap exists in the sports world as well? And if so, why?
Yeah, I think there's a major gap between when talking about different sports, but that's only because male athletes get advertised a lot more than females because they've been in the sports industry longer.
Well, I do agree with that, Marilyn, on the fact that as a former NBA player as myself, I definitely noticed that a lot of people view basketball as a male-dominant sport. This is why NBA players make more than women in the WNBA, because the NBA has a bigger fan base and has been around longer, as you said. Also, NBA players are sponsored by more like companies and stuff, which will get them more money, and that's probably benefits to the wage. I do believe that WNBA players deserve more money because they are playing at the highest level. And as of right now, according to one of my sources, he posted via Twitter at the Hoop Stories and at The Root that the highest paid WNBA player, which is Maya Moore, is only getting paid a mere $110,000, which is a far cry from the NBA's highest paid athlete, which is Steph Curry, and he's getting paid a whopping $34.7 million per year, and that's only for the contract, not even the shoe deals and all that. There's definitely a noticeable wage gap, but I just feel like most people are attracted to male sports than women's sports, and that can have an effect on it, not just because they're men and women.
That's true, because tennis is a woman-dominant sport, and if you look at the numbers, women make more money as tennis players, basically vice versa, the NBA and WNBA.
Right, but even though tennis is one of the few sports where women on average make more than men, then tell me why the top female player still makes less than 54% of the top male tennis players' earnings.
Okay, Karina, but the same with golf. How often do you see women playing golf on TV? Hardly, right? This is why males make more money, because they have a larger fan base. Therefore, more brand deals, which will make them more money. And the same with sports people who rave over males playing sports. So brands and investors see this as a way to make more money.
Okay, wow. Both sides had amazing points in my opinion, but sadly, we're just out of time. Thank you all for coming, and good night from your favorite Hall of Famer, the Rocket Man, Obiara Nwora. Hey, did the camera crew get my wink? What you mean, no? Well, I guess we're gonna have to do this all over again. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody.